All right, we're at Records Pond, and we got a little bit of rain that I think is going to be on and off today. So, Trey, you're going to be in my rig, the Topper 14-foot John boat, and I'm going to be in your rig, a Bonafide SS127 kayak with the 3 horsepower electric outboard, the Torqeedo Ultralight 1103. Same motor on 2 different boats. So, I'm going to hand the camera to you, and I'm just going to do a quick ballast story of this rig. We'll start with the motor. It's the Travel 1103, and you can see we've got the stick steer on there. This is the prototype that we're testing out today with the stick steer. Nice, really full rotation there. This sucker will be able to turn around within its own length. We did a lot of work on this. The flooring is beautiful. It's got a foam underlay there, the marine mat on top. Whole lot of gear track, YakAttack gear track with everything from the roto grips for the stand-up paddleboard holder, cup holders, bullwinkle, the bazooka tube, which I run the pole through, the parking pole. We got a Millenium marine swivel seat here. I got the Humminbird Helix 10 there, powered with the Dakota Lithium Battery inside this case, and a custom anchor setup with the anchor wizard right there. So it's been a fun rig for sure to get out and use. So what's nice is that you have everything here with your where my left hand is. If I'm fishing, you know, I have my fishing rod in the right. Everything I do with the boat is with the left. So stick steer, throttle, anchor, everything in one spot. So I'm in the Bonafide SS127. Trey, this is your boat. I'm gonna have you talk to us about it.
I'll start at the bow. I've got a custom anchor boom that I've built for this with an 8-pound mushroom anchor. And then the anchor wizard is back here. I built a special bracket to put it on the side here so it's nice and sturdy. It keeps it out of the way of my legs. My Humminbird Helix 7 in the center pod. My foot control steering is hooked up to the Bonafide foot pedals here. And then, of course, the junk drawer. I'd keep some spare tools and stuff in there in case something would go wrong. YakAttack cup holder on the side, and then I've got a prototype throttle mount on this side, which is it's a flat throttle mount that you can put on any track or just bolt it to the kayak itself. It just gives people another option. We have those coming in soon for mounting their throttle instead of just the one option that we have right now. Custom set of wheels that we built here. They do pull out. There's a cord in here that stops them from coming all the way out on their own, and the C-tug wheels they're rubber, but there is no air in them, so they don't float, so it makes it really easy to put them in and out when you're on the water. I keep the battery right behind the seat, use the elastic bands that are there to hold that in place. A couple rod holders, YakAttack rod holders, and then we've got our concept mount here on the back. We've changed up our Torqeedo power pole mount. This is a concept version. We're getting it out here today to try it out and test the concept of it, and then once we get past this, then we go to the CAD software and we design a mount that looks better than this one, but this will test the current functionality of it.
I must say, you know, the power pole motor isn't on there. I've just asked to not have it on there today just because I know we have a lot of overhanging branches. We're going to be up into the trees, and I figured between the anchor wizard and a paddle, I'm going to be in good shape in terms of, you know, being able to hold position.
Right.
But it looks like the power pole goes right down in there and the motor sits there.
Yep, and it has enough room in here that if for some reason your power pole were to get stuck in the mud, like they tend to do sometimes, you can still hit the release and it'll kick up some to be able to get that out. The 1103 motor on the back with our rock guard, And we've really put those things to use. We beat them up as much as we can to make sure that they are not going to fail. And so far, we've had really good luck and haven't had any issues with them. So
nice. Let's get them on the water.
Yep, let's go.
Using that rack card, huh?
Yes, sir. Trying it out.
What do you think of it so far?
I like it. It's very easy to maneuver it around.
All right, let's check out the maneuverability. I just want you to kind of do some ripping and running, turning, doing donuts, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right, first impressions on the maneuverability of the stick steer.
Very responsive. I like when you turn it completely in one direction that you basically spin on the spot. It's awesome. You don't have to worry about maneuvering a larger boat and having a bigger area to do it, because even in low speed you can turn it all the way one direction at low speed and you can kind of position yourself wherever you need when you're fishing. Oh, it's a pickerel. First pickerel of the day, little guy, little slimy guy. Hit a spinnerbait, about 2 foot of water.
So, something I'm already liking about this place over where I was yesterday is I had 90-degree water temperature yesterday. Shallow, not a lot of cover, not a lot of structure. This has lots of that. I mean, it's got the cypress trees, it's got the pads, it's got a creek that branches out into lots of different fingers or little islands back here. A lot of shade, you know, and I know it's raining today, but I think the prevalence of shade keeps this a cooler body of water, which I gotta think does some good things for the bass. First one with the Laztech swim bait with the chin locks. It just comes through the grass real nice. I think it was a 4-inch swimmer, actually out in open water. So I had run back to the truck mostly because I wanted to grab my panfish rig. I'll grab it and show you what I got. I saw a lot of really nice looking bluegill and shell crackers, pumpkin seed. I wasn't sure what I was looking at, but real simple bobber, and I think they call it a trout magnet. So we'll put that, you know, in the spots where I saw a bunch of these guys, and don't know, we got a bass, a pickerel, let's go for panfish. Let's see what's out here. Yeah, that didn't take long. Little guy. I know I've seen some bigger ones in there. Just keep it in there. I'm seeing some bare spots, but I think they're kind of old, abandoned beds. I didn't see a lot of activity near them, but it was, you know, there's so much green muck, green filamentous algae all over. See ya. All over the place. In areas that there is none, I mean, there's definitely some bed, or at least remnants of beds in this area. There's so much life back here, the upper end of the pond. Unfortunately, most of it's turtle. A lot of turtles. A lot to explore back here. There's a bunch of islands, and then it really gets tight and it becomes a cypress forest. And I'm kind of making my way through one of the little tunnels into, there's another pond back here. I mean, it's the same pond, but it's another area that opens up. You know, you would look at it from part way back and think that it pinches off and that's the end of it, but it keeps going back here. That's a nicer one. Look at you. I took that trout magnet right away, right next to the pads. I'll show you here in a minute where he was at. So we'll catch a couple more like him and maybe switch back to trying to target the bass. A nice one though. The first couple I got were right on the edge here. The creek channel is sweeping along here. There's a current gradient. This is still water, and that's water that's moving very slowly. They were all right in here, but I've been catching them the last couple, putting the bobber up there and letting it kind of drift along here. Another one right on the edge of the lily pads. Trout magnet. And you know, you gotta wait for that bobber to go down. I have a very short length of bobber, and I gotta get them out of the pads quick because they tend to dive back down in there. And you know, I've lost a couple that have pulled the whole rig down into the stems, and then you lose the fish because that really sharp hook finds one of the stems, and then you got to go over and get it. So I am using a little bit of scent on there just to help them decide that, hey, I'm not going to peck at it, I'm gonna eat it. It's just a liquid mayhem here. And I just kind of stick it in there, get a little bit on, throw it back in. Right on the edge of I actually think this is the creek channel coming through here, because when I put the bobber out there, it drifts by very slowly, and they're right on the edge of the creek channel and this pad of, you know, this group of pads. Here's another one. You know, it's a pretty well-defined edge, and they're sitting in the pads waiting for food to go by and giving them something to mess with. There's another. So, pretty good pan fishery here at Records. Need to go back to the bass though. See how big a bass is in here. You catching a man?
Chain pickerel.
Oh,
Deeper water. About 4 to 7 foot of water. That's the better one. Ooh, easy, 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 easy. That's personal best chain pickerel anyway.
nice. How long is he?
Okay. Slime myself to stay on the board. 21 1/4.
Nice. That's a really good one.
All right. Get it back in the water.
There he goes.
There for another day.
Was he fun to catch?
Oh yeah, he hit it right at the boat. Chatterbait.
Huh.
I noticed they were being real active and following stuff back to the boat, so I just started throwing a chatterbait, and they're just nailing it.
Nice.
They hit it like a bass, but they don't fight like a bass.
No. No.
Got a little drop off in this creek channel here. It's about 7.5 foot right here, and when we go back, there's a split right here, and it's about 4.5 foot around the corner. That's where I caught 2 chain pickerel back to back on chatterbait. They're chasing them, so they're being really active right now.
Yep. I got one of the chain pickerel that, oh, slimy. Same area that he got his in. The sun is coming out, and I can hear thunder in the background. We got storms all around us, I'm sure. I'm surprised I didn't lose this jig. I hooked this finesse jig just right. So, he's a pretty fish. All right, we'll get him back in. All right, I've been bit off twice, and I've lost 2 of these heads, these chin locks, and 2 YakAttack soft plastic swim baits. This one's the color is called Houdini. It's kind of a gold. It's got a lot of gold in it, which is what I like. It's got green on the top, gold on the bottom, and kind of copper and gold and red and black. It's a great color. And I keep donating them to the chain pickerel. They're biting off, you know, I think it's 20-pound fluoro. So I've jumped up to 50 pound. Hopefully that'll work. We'll see. That's the bait though. The grass kickers in Houdini. I had a big one blow up on it. Big chain pickerel just a second ago. And it was barely a hook set and it was popping off. So let's try this again. Alright, 50-pound test. Did the trick. Oh, that is satisfying. To not lose another. Those teeth. Ah. You know, I think sometimes it's chance whether you get the tooth or not, but you know, I don't think it takes much to get one of those sharp little things to slice 20-pound test. You can go now. I'm done with you. What you got, man?
Little 13-inch largemouth. Stocky little guy.
Yeah. What did he hit?
Spinnerbait.
Okay. That's a good way to not have to mess with the chain pickerel fighting you off with that wire. Very cool.
I got here off these pads in about 4 foot of water.
Right on. All right, finally got a decent bass on the swim bait. Just moving it through the through the grass, just waiting for the for the fish to kind of swirl on it, and I let him go, almost like frog fishing. I let him kind of hang out underneath there for a little bit, and gave him maybe a 2 count before I let him have it and set the hook. So happy to get a pattern going in the pads. Hopefully it keeps up.
All right, so noticed another little pattern here. I'm throwing a spinnerbait. It was about 5 foot of water on wood, and this guy come up and slammed it right after it bumped over the wood. So,
all right, we're gonna head over to a different lake. We've caught some good fish here, man. You got that one big chain pickerel. That's a lot of fun.
yep.
So, all right, got a good pad pattern going. I know I've looked at the Google Maps of the other lake, or the other pond that we're going to go to, and we got some more pads there. You're getting them on wood, and I'm sure that we'll find some good laydowns there. So we'll pick up and throw these boats in the back of the trucks and make a short run, go catch some more fish in a different pond. All right, we're at the second pond of the day, and Trey looks like he's pulling ahead. I actually think that is a faster rig than most kayaks. You know, the longer wetted surface, makes a difference in terms of the overall speed, the weight being forward. Who'd have thought? John boat with the same motor, faster than the kayak, which is probably, I don't know, 80 pounds lighter. That's 6.7 feet, and you can actually see a real well-defined channel in certain places, which is more than I've seen in some of the other ponds we've been at. So I like finding a channel, because if I can find grass edges leading right up to that channel and a steep drop off, that'd be a good pattern. But we're just going to zoom around and take a look at the whole thing. Certainly a lot of residential type area around it, so I gotta think it's fished pretty heavily, but it looks like good habitat. Yep, that's why we got the 50-pound stuff on there. Oh. Yeah, that's not happening without pliers. Come here, fishy. Can you let go of that? Look at him. He likes the YakAttack. Let go. Oh, he took the tail. He actually cut the tail. That's exceedingly rare. Pickerel. He's not a happy camper. But not.
Don't. Get out of there. They're all about the same size.
So we've gone to the upper end of the lake and it hasn't really turned into a creek. It's still fairly wide out there, very shallow. You'd think it'd be hot. It's not. It's a creek coming in right there, just like yesterday. And 72.6 degrees. You know, with most of the main part of the pond well into the 80s. This is certainly the coolest water that we've found. And we're picking off some pickerel here and there. No bass yet. Plenty of bluegill and other panfish kind of cruising around in the shallows. Really a cool looking area. Let me turn the camera around and let you see. I think that's the channel, and it's, you know, it's 2 feet instead of 6 inches. And cruises up into, we are seeing some fish blow up on the sides here and there. But the better fish, you know, at least the better pickerel we've caught have been in the channel on wood. That's a good bass. All the way in this upper shallow end in like inches of water. I switched over to, from that weighted hook, the chin locks. I decided to go weightless with this guy, palmetto bugs, which is all chewed up, but whatever. It's on a grip pin hook, and there's some nice ones up here in this 72 degree water. It's a good one. All right, my big for the day, up in real shallow water. I mean, less than 6 inches all around. We'll go ahead and get this guy back home. See you, guy. All right, I got it rigged back on there to show you. So the palmetto bugs, weightless, 50-pound fluorocarbon because of the chain pickerel. And this is actually this Elastec will float this hook. So I'm fishing it much like you do a frog. I'll show you. Except it's real subtle what I'm doing. I'll let it out there, let it sit there a minute, and then instead of like real violent pop, pop, pop like you do with a frog, I'm just doing little twitches. That's what that guy hit. And I just watch for the swirl, and I let him take it. Just like you do with the frog, you let him have it for a 2 count, and then you cross their eyes. Oh, you know the bass. Bye-bye. So I like the palmetto bugs because it's sort of like a slow pitch down the middle. You give it to them nice and slow and twitchy and not erratic and pop, 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 just quivering. Maybe like a frog that is injured, or just an easy meal. Easily trackable, easy to take down. It rests near the surface, and it is good to actually rest it. Pause it, start it again.
All right, so we've made a full day of it out here. We hit 2 large ponds. They call them ponds in Delaware. They're like small lakes to me, but we had a good day. We caught a lot of chain pickerel, some good bass. Jeff got onto a bite back in there. I was out here, so I didn't get to see the fish that he got. But
I had 69-degree water all the way up in that creek, and I missed one fish that was substantial. I mean, I got a bunch of nice fish, but I missed one in particular that was like, all around it was less than a foot of water. The creek channel was there, a big old root ball, and after I left, I shoved my paddle down in there, and it was like 5 feet deep in 69.3-degree water. So, of course, there's a big fish in it.
Yeah, Jeff went farther than I could go. I was pushing through stumps and stuff, and it was pretty shallow. So I came out and I started throwing a topwater frog on the way out, and actually had a blow up on a topwater frog in like 6 inches of water, so that was pretty cool. But yeah, had a good day. It was fun. First time fishing in Delaware for me. So
Jake's coming down tomorrow, and he's got a pond he wants me to check out. So we'll do that, and keep going with this Delmarva pond hopping. Glad you came out and fished with me, bud.
Yep.
All right, let's wrap it up.